Richard, the creature from the deep. His name is Richard. Yeah, here comes.
I'm sure, folks, there must be plenty of you out there that are wondering, I wonder how Richard's getting on. Richard, the terrifying sea creature from the deep out there in the salty, salty depths. Well, I was wondering the same thing, folks, which is why a couple of days ago I took another wee swim out to see how he was getting on out there. So I got to his house and he greeted me once again with an outstretched hand and a very friendly smile indeed. So that's nice, that's nice. This is going to go well. He was looking very well, I have to say. He had had his hair recently trimmed back, but not too much. And I said to him, Richard, what have you been doing with yourself over the past few days? I said, well, Mr. Stephen, things are going well for me at the minute. I did ask the lovely, lovely Lynn, the creature hairdresser, Lynn, out on a date. And he said a look came over her face as if to say she was thinking, could I grow to love such a terrifying creature from the deep as Richard? Yes, I think maybe I can. And then she said, yes, I'll go out on a wee date with you, Richard. Tell me, Richard, where are we gonna go? Richard said, I'm gonna take you to the cinema. That's right, folks. As well as being a big underwater bank, there is also out there in the depths, there is a cinema, a big underwater cinema. They don't show that many films out there because the range of films that they show there is fairly limited. Limited in terms of they can only show films that feature scenes that are underwater. So films, for example, like Jaws, that scene on the boat in the middle of the film where they're all getting really drunk, that's a brilliant scene. But all the sea creatures and all the wee turtles that go to the cinema, they don't understand that scene, and they don't understand anything that goes up on the boat or on land in the wee fishing village or wherever it is. It's only when they actually get under the water in the scenes in the films that they understand what's going on, because they recognize everything, you see. So that's our home there. Yeah. It'll be like, they'll say they're sitting watching, if I say a couple of turtles at the cinema watching a film, and one of them be fast asleep and the other one vaguely engaged, even though they didn't really understand anything. And then you go under the water and it'll be, oi, wake up, they're under the water now. Ooh, here we are. So that's sort of how it went. Now, some would say that the sea creatures and the fish and the turtles didn't get their money's worth because they didn't really understand that much of the film, but they didn't really have to pay that much. I believe it was only about £2 equivalent in the sea money. But that's by the by. I mean, Richard wasn't really there to watch the film anyway. He was there to get a wee bit fancy with the lovely Lynn, the creature lady hairdresser. And as we were watching the film, he did sort of slip his tendrils around the side of her and started playing with her lovely, lovely gills and stroking her beautiful, beautiful scales that she had on her. At which point she said, "Wait, Richard, back off, I want to take things slow." You see, folks, Lynn did a very lovely, I told you before, she had very lovely scales and very lovely gills. That's because she took a great deal of pride in keeping them that way. I mean, she was a woman who knew how to groom male sea creatures. So she knew how to groom herself as well, and she did it very well. She did attract a lot of attention from the male creatures from the deep out there. And when she'd be on her way to go to give haircuts, all the male creatures would see her swimming past, and she would like, back off. Don't even think about it, sunshine. I'm on my way to Richard's for he is a more terrifying creature than you will ever be, and he's worth 10 of you. And that's what she did, folks. She would go to Richard's house whilst making all the other sea creatures, jealous. But Richard wasn't really there to watch the film anyway. She said, back off, I want to take things slowly. So Richard very respectfully withdrew his tendrils and continued to watch the film. It was an above water scene at the time, so he didn't really understand very much, but he waited patiently for the scenes to go underwater. Very, very patient man for a terrifying creature from the deep. He also reported to me, folks, that he did apply for a part-time job at the cinema in order to continue keeping his financial affairs together, considering what happened to him fairly recently. This was definitely something that was quite important to him. They're trying to work out what they want to do with him in this cinema. They're a bit concerned about putting him front of house, selling the tickets, because he is such a terrifying creature from the deep. But I'm sure they'll maybe find a wee role for him, and one that'll sit him down to the ground. But I'll do another wee swim out next week and see how that's going for him. And I'll get back to you then, sure.